Hey everyone, this is our 16-foot Eddy. It's one of our low-profile series boats. I just thought I'd take a few minutes here to show you guys the boat. A lot of you guys already know about this boat. It's a very, very popular boat in our Rocky Mountain market, out east in Tennessee, Michigan, back in the New England states, even out here in the Pacific Northwest and some certain areas. Walkaround River, from one of them I can think of, they use a lot of low profiles. Northern California, they use a lot of low profiles still. So the reason you might go with the low profile series type boat or the 16-foot Eddy, they call it low profile series, meaning the side height, the freeboard on the boat is, I kind of go back to that, is a little lower. So from our 16-foot standard, even our big Eddy, you're probably talking a good 2.5 to maybe 3.5 inches, depending on the portion of the boat. So you get a lot of this situation where you get a lot of wind coming up river, and it really, I mean, if you're trying to move down river, it can really blow a boat around. So, you know, if you have that advantage of, you know, getting one of these boats because you're going to be in that certain area, that certain river where you know that's going to happen a lot, yes, you know, go with one of these 16 Eddys. This is probably one of the most popular standard layouts. So I'm going to go off the word standard, meaning how you might come down to the shop and say, hey, Jake, want to look at one of the 16-foot Eddys. I'm going to say, check this one out. This is awesome. This one's got the fixed rear pedestal box here. They call this a fixed casting brace. It is removable, so if you ever did want to do a trip, maybe put gear back here, it is removable, takes out of the boat. But most of the time, people tend to leave this in for fly fishing. This got the 360 rowers box. Yes, don't worry, you can still get this in a bench model. There's benches that go across. I recommend going with the pedestal style like this. I think it's much better for walking around. You can put dry bags in here in place of storage. A lot of options for that. This is a big ticket thing for me personally. And I think for anybody that may have a family, different ideas of things, this is a front pedestal box, but instead of being fixed, it is actually removable. Reason like this, if you ever want to go on a camp trip, spot for a bigger cooler, this can be removed and you can actually put in here your favorite cooler brand, 45 quart, 65 quart style cooler, and then we can go ahead and put straps on the floor down here. They're called nut certs, so that way we can fasten that box down, therefore it won't move on you. It'll be stationary just in case you do go through some light rapids and whatnot. You're not going to have the box tip over on you. There's also some other styles we'll show you in this video as far as two side-by-side boxes. Not really recommended for two guys my size, but let's say you have a growing family, a couple kids, friends, smaller adults, you can actually put those two boxes side by side, remove one of them, slide one over to the center, bolt it down. So having this box, to me, removable is a big deal. One thing I've had a few people question in the past is maybe fly lines getting stuck here. Well, there is an option for that. We can take 100% clear silicone, wrap it around this box, which is removable. So if you ever did remove it later date, you can take that off, clean the silicone off. Therefore, you don't have to worry about fly line getting stuck under this box. So if that's something like, I don't know if I'll ever take that out, maybe I still want it removable, we can do that for you. Free of charge, we'll put that around the box. So that's something to keep in mind. That's very, very important thing. So standard for this boat with the removable front box, it comes standard with, we call it 18 by 22 size standard box. You can see in here, again, they got the two bolts in here, a little build sheet here, removable bolt patterns. We can put multiple bolt patterns in here, again, for coolers. The dinner box I didn't talk about, it's called a mega box. Some of you have seen it, it's kind of a triangle box, wider, it's got slider rails on it. Therefore, you can slide one seat off, slide one center. So more often than not, if you have 4 people in the boat or want to do that, you can get the mega boxes as well. So it's something to think about, keep in mind on this boat. Obviously built-in front casting brace on this boat, very important. Spot to spool your line right here in the front here if you're fly casting out of the boat. Also, this boat comes standard along with most of our Eddy series boats with the double triple rod holders, meaning double triples, 3 on that side, 3 on this side. We got some fun gadgets for that too. I'll show you here in the video with rod storage, as far as storing your rods, keep them sliding or bouncing up and down, going down access roads and different things like that. So these are some of the options I was talking about here. These are kind of cool. A lot of the fly fishermen may or may not like these. They're actually a fly rod holder built by Folby Products. Been popular, I'd say 50% of the time somebody might get this. If you wind drift flies, want a spot to set your rod out of the way, you can mount these in the boat with your regular rod base mounts right here. Off to the side, you can see that these are pretty nice. They're pretty slick. They don't have a fly reel to show you at the minute, but they sit here. Your fly reel slides down, keeps them nice and secure in here. So something you may consider. They're kind of a fun little option for your boat. These are two different motor plates that we use on that boat. This is a angled transom one, which we'll show you here, and this is a straight one. I'd say for the low profile series, the angle one seems to be the most popular one. Keeps your motor more perpendicular to your transom, makes it a little easier so your tiller handle's not sitting in there. And there's another video you can watch about that too on our Clackacraft page as far as motor mounts and things like that. But that's something to consider on the boat. We also have our rod storage rack here, which I'll show you on the boat here. Our proprietary swivel locks, really good for high-end oars. Gives it a wider point to hold the oar, therefore less issues with your oar getting damaged from a single oar lock, where it can be a little more pressure on the oar. So something to check out. Anchor nest, and here's something too. This is a quick disconnect unit. I'll go ahead and show you guys that right here. This comes on these boats here. So this is a Tempest quick disconnect kit. It's only going to work with Tempest product seats. They're a real large seat company for the marine industry. And you can see this scenario here. This is a 45 quart Yeti cooler. As you can see, it's tied down in here. This makes it kind of nice because a standard seat comes with a swivel on it. This also swivels, but it's their kind of puck kit. I'm pushing on the back here, and that comes right off. You can see this little lip actually sits and kind of keeps that caught on this side of their swivel piece here, which is bolted to this cooler. Yeah, you got to drill holes in your cooler, but you know what? It makes it really nice for this scenario. It doesn't hurt the cooler any. You can see it's nice stainless bolts in there, and it's out of the way. So this is an option a person could do for like a 65 quart size cooler, 3 of these. So you can actually snap a secondary seat. It's a little cozy, side by side. I mean, me and another big guy my size probably don't want to sit like that, but it does work. So this cooler, a little too narrow to do that with, but a 65 quart and above cooler will allow to have 3 of these pucks on there. So it's something to consider. And again, you may not want to do this right away when you purchase a boat from us. You could buy it with a removable front box and then come down at a later date and add this option to it. So that's again why I kind of stress having that happen. I've gotten many, many calls over the years. Person going, how do I get a 4th person in my boat? I have a fixed front box, and I'm pretty much like, spend $1,500. That's what you have to do to cut that out, redo all that. So, it's something to consider to have that box removable at all times. That's what I think. So again, nice little cooler option here. Simple. You use your cooler for something else, a camp trip outside of the boating aspect. You still have your cooler available, but you can see pretty much, if I can get it on there, clip back into place, done deal. Seat. Also take this out, sit on the bank. To be able to use it as a seat, at a campsite or something too. So makes it nice. Clackacraft storage, 2 different preferred methods. One of my sales guy here likes to do it this way, which is fine. They're drilled differently to keep the rods downward. And it does a really good job too. This one we just rigged up a little differently where it's coming to the backside and holding it down. Therefore it goes down. You can change it either which way for your strings there, but these are really nice. They're not much money, just under $100 for a set of them. You can add it to any of the boats, even the doubles. They'll fit on here. You won't be able to use the 3 part of it, but back in the day we only had doubles of these, probably 5 years ago or something like that. But now you have the double triples. So 3 rods in here, nice storage option for short travel distances. I wouldn't go all the way down an access road, where it's super bumpy and utilize those. I'd take my rods out of that, but makes kind of nice for river travel and short distances to have the double triple option there. So then you come around the back here. So this is really cool. Something I kind of forgot about when I started this video a second ago, but this one's actually wired for electric motor setup for 80-pound electric. You could put a 112 on here too, but 80 is pretty sufficient for a 16-foot Eddy model. You can see how nice a job our install tech did here. It's actually utilizing the rod tube area of this boat. You come up with your 80-pound electric, tighten it down, quick disconnect, plug it in, away you go. And then the box over here. The battery's not in here. The customer on this particular one is bringing his own battery in, but all we did is left the pigtail here with 2 power lugs on there. He's going to put his own battery tray and his own, I think he's going to do a lithium battery in there, which makes it really slick and clean. We run the wires down out of the box, through the side rail, up the back. As you can see, you can't even see it's in here besides where it's coming out the back. So really cool option. I say we're doing probably 1 to 2 electric installs a week on the Driftboats lately. They're become that popular. Another kind of fun option on these boats is bow drop anchor bracket here. Sometimes you get in that windy lake, river situation where you just can't get the boat anchor right, spinning in circles over a small stream. It's almost mandatory to have a front anchor system at that point. So it's something to consider. If you do have times where you don't want that fly line snag, 2 bolts pops right off. So certain conditions and situations, you're going to want this guy for sure. So keep an eye on the bow drop anchor bracket if you're thinking about getting a boat coming. Super good option. And then back here, this has the angled motor mount. So again, it's keeping that motor perpendicular with the boat. Therefore, you know, if we had an angled motor mount on these boats, the handle kind of goes like this, so you lose a lot of adjustment where that's going to be way in the air. Granted, the Minn Kotas are adjustable, so that's a little different as far as electric trolling motor goes. But for like a little gas motor, I would say nothing more than 6 horse on this bracket, because then you get too big a cowling and it won't turn. Most of the time on a 16-foot Eddy at 3.5 is more than sufficient for this boat. Horsepower, we like the Tahatsus. They're a great brand for us. They work really well. Keeps your anchor system center. If you get something bigger, you're like, hey Jake, I want to get a 8 horsepower. What I'm gonna have to do then is offset this anchor system over, put a different pulley down inside here, and bring this where this not be able to utilize this anchor nest. Me and anchor nests kind of go round and round. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I kind of think they're in the way at times, but they're very good. If you want to make sure you don't have anchor in there, I would highly recommend one. I kind of like it offset on the gunnel for me. But in this situation works good because the customer knows he's only gonna be using an electric motor on here, so it's not in the way. So it's really nice, really stout being on the transom like this too, bolted on. Gunnel ain't gonna hurt much either. As long as you use right hardware for that, it bolts there good too. So basically, you sewed up all the options for your transom right here by doing this. I mean, you can see again, nice electric motor setup, plug and play, motor mount, and these aren't very expensive options. I mean, for a few $100, you're gonna get these things done. Wiring, wiring's wiring. It's probably going to be $400 to $500 in there, depending on what's going on in this world. But basically, we keep right around I want to say $450 right now to do the wiring setup portion of the boat. So all Clackacrafts come standard with a carpeted bunk trailer, meaning there's everybody's seen those before, 2 2x4s that go across with carpet on them. This happens to be an upgraded trailer right here. It's our new roller trailer. It's got rubber mat material on here. It goes around the roller itself, keeps the boat protected from getting scratched and beat up. And there's one in the rear, one in the front. It is an upgraded option for not much. You can upgrade to a roller option. Makes it really easy to launch the boat, along with retrieve the boat. I don't care how strong you are. Sometimes you get in those boat ramp situations where you can't get all the way to the water, but your tires are getting wet. You could roll this thing right off into the river, no problem at all. They're a great trailer. I wish, hopefully someday we'll go to all that for all of our trailers. I'm working on that, but right now it still is an upgraded option just to keep the, what's going on in the world, the package prices in a certain category. We got to kind of give that option. So again, with any of the roller trailer option, this is an automatic upgrade on here as far as the boat buckle goes. These are awesome. If you haven't seen them, you can add them to your old trailer. You might have to drill a hole to put them on. But there you go. You're ready to go. I had to release it like that, pops right off. You still got on our new trailers an option to use a strap that goes over the top of the boat too. There's a little hook down there. All the trailers have LED lights, driving lights too at night, so you can see the front and rear of your trailer back there behind your vehicle. The amber in the front, the red in the rear. Come with the nice aluminum wheels there, real pretty. A serviceable hub, Dexter Easy Lube system, mandatory. Always check your wheel bearings and hubs to make sure, especially if you go on a trip, you pack your bags, you pack your groceries, you check your oil in your truck, you don't check your wheel bearings, because you call me all the time saying you burn a wheel bearing up. So check those wheel bearings before a trip. It's really easy to do. Grease them, you can jack them up, give them a little shake. Start feeling a little too much tick, you need to at least go in there and check them out, see what's going on, and have it serviced. If you're not familiar with doing it, you can go to YouTube. There's probably a dozen guys in there explain it really well. Maybe me one of these times I should do one of those videos, but again, check your wheel bearings all the time. Spare tires included on this package here with this trailer upgrade. Nice wheel jack here. Hot dip galvanized trailer inside and out. They're awesome trailers. So we build them ourselves in-house here in the Northwest, and they're a great trailer, and we stand behind them. So 16-foot Eddy, awesome package. Thanks for checking out the video. Appreciate you coming out. Sorry, it's a hot one today in here, guys. About 100 degrees outside today. We wanted to do this video. Justin was in town visiting, so thanks for checking out 16-foot Eddy. Call any of our locations, Idaho Falls, Oregon location. Want to have a chat about the boat and BS some more. I'd love to have the conversation with you. You can always reach out to me, jake@clackacraft.com. A video idea or any fun stuff like that for me. I'm trying to get back and do some more videos. Kind of took a little break over the summer, but like you guys watching it, checking it out, and appreciate all the feedback. So thanks, guys. Have fun.